It is not only Johannesburg that is affected by water disruptions in Gauteng. Media houses will remember that from the 18th of September, we had to put Gauteng on restriction level 1. And the reasons for that was that Gauteng is consuming more than they are supposed to. They consume more than 278 per capita per day as against the international norm that is 173 per capita per day. We met several times with municipalities of Gauteng, and I want to thank the Premier of Gauteng, the MEC for Kokta, all mayors of Gauteng. We met several times to bring to their attention that if they are not changing the mindset of the citizens, we might experience a lot of challenges around Gauteng.
So for context, Gauteng is currently having a slight water crisis. Slight, where most of Gauteng has been put under water restriction level 1, just to reduce the amount of water being used. You know, so what are your thoughts on what you've seen so far, and do you think this is going to be a repeat of Eskom and Loche?
I think it definitely is going to be. I mean, I know, especially when we were staying in Fourways, right? We were having, that side is having huge problems when it comes to water outages or water restrictions. Now we know them to be.
So when I first saw this, and then I started getting emails from the states and stuff like that saying that there's a water restriction and blah 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 blah. And then now I'm seeing this. Now I'm starting to see that no, this is going to become a serious issue.
It's a thing.
And obviously the conspiracy theorists out there will be saying that this is the government trying to privatize the water, like they were trying to privatize energy and Eskom, you know, all that kind of stuff like that. But okay, so the first thing that I asked myself here, right, is what is actually causing this issue?
What's causing this?
Aging infrastructure is one of them. Aging infrastructure.
Of course.
So obviously municipalities and the provincial government is not investing in maintaining the current infrastructure. So that is a government issue, right? That's one. And then the second one is population growth. So the population is growing and expanding in Gauteng. You see that a lot of estates are being built, the city's being expanded and all that stuff like that. But again, that is a failure of the municipalities and the government to plan ahead and boost the infrastructure. Boost the infrastructure in order to facilitate the expansion of the population, right? Absolutely. So those are 2 points where the government is still at fault. And then the other one is overconsumption. So they're saying that Gauteng...
They're obviously going to say that's the main one.
Yeah, so they're saying that Gauteng residents are over-consuming water.
Really?
Which to me doesn't really make sense. I think they're attributing the leaks all over the water system in Gauteng to overconsumption as well, because from what I've seen is that in total in Gauteng, 33% of the water that is being supplied is being lost due to leaks. And in some municipalities, 78% of the water is being lost. So in some municipalities, they are actually losing more water than they are supplying. So that is a huge waste.
I hate the fact that all of this, the people who are being punished at the end of the day is the people.
It's always the consumer.
Yes.
Always the consumer.
And it's like, no, but they don't want to take responsibility on their end that, okay, a lot of this is our fault. We need to pull up our socks. We need to stop mismanaging funds and actually put in place proper infrastructure or at least maintain those that are currently in place. So it's like, I hate it. And this is gaslighting. Like, the government is always gaslighting us, and it's so bad. At no point they ever want to take responsibility or admit, when they are at fault and try to work towards that. At the end of the day, it's always going to be us.
There's all those factors, and then another factor is they say corruption as well, which is a government problem. They say municipal mismanagement, it's a government problem. So you see that out of all these cases, most of them is due to the government. just not being efficient enough to do their job and make sure that these things don't happen. How much water is actually being lost? So when you're driving around the city, so whenever I go to work, there's always a street. That's just leaking water. Every day there's always a street that's just leaking water.
And like the time that it takes for them to fix those issues is also like,
it will take days.
They'll take days. And there's literally water leaking for days.
And the numbers are scary because they say that we lose about 2.3 billion liters of water a day. 2.3 billion liters of water a day due to aging infrastructure.
Crazy.
So if they actually managed the infrastructure correctly and they did maintenance and they did the upgrades like as they were supposed to do to minimize the amount of leaks in the system, we wouldn't be having these problems at all. 2.3 billion liters of water a day is a lot of water. That will be able to supply everybody.
This is like a germ that's taken over like the government, and I feel like that won't change until like the whole of the ANC is gone, to be honest. Because it's like a virus, you know what I'm saying? Like anything, for as long as ANC is in the picture, whoever comes with them will also be consumed by that germ. Like for as long as ANC is in power in some way, whether it's not completely, but in some way, and the people who have been in the ANC all of these years, it's just not going to change because now it's like in their veins, you know, the corruption's in their veins. So it's, and it's like you insulting them now, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's why we see it. They don't see anything wrong. Like they genuinely don't see anything wrong. They will tell you, like you see in the way that they speak as well, like the fault is not on us. No, we're not the problem. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they genuinely believe that. Like to some point, it's like they genuinely believe that because they don't know how not to be corrupt. They don't know how to do things properly. In fact, it baffles them that things can actually be done without, you know, corruption.
Be prepared. For those staying out there, and be prepared. Get your JoJo tanks while they're still cheap. Because if this crisis blows out of proportion and there's actually a scarcity of water in Gauteng, JoJo tanks, the prices of JoJo tanks are going to skyrocket, and then they're going to become more expensive, they're going to become harder to attain, and it's going to be more difficult just to have water. This is just a precaution as to what you've seen from our government before. Like they failed to.
Things only go south here, trust me. They're warning you that it's about to.
They failed with ESCOM so bad for so many years that people even got used to not having electricity. And now we're having a similar trajectory with water. So water is a bit more touchy because you can't live without water.
You can't live without water.
You can't live without water. You won't be hydrated. You won't be able to function properly. You won't be clean. You know, there's a lot of things that would just go wrong if we don't have water.
It's difficult to cook. It's like it's just.
And in the times of the ANC, when the ANC was like the government, there was a period where, especially like in Joburg North suburbs, there was a period where it's either you had water or you had electricity. It was a miracle to have both. To have both,
you can't have it all.
You just felt like, oh, today's a good day. Today's a good day. I have water and I have electricity.
Really bad there.
But there's a caveat to this. So apparently, Rand Water has plans to mitigate this issue. They have plans to improve the infrastructure. They have plans to expand the dams. They have plans to get water sources from elsewhere. You know, so they have plans.
The Department of Water and Sanitation anticipated this growth in demand and put in place the plans to address it as back as 1980 through the Lesotho Highland Water Project, which supplies additional water into the integrated Vaal River system from the Katse and the Mohale dams built in the mountains of Lesotho. The first phase of this Lesotho Highland Water Project was completed in 2003 and delivered 780 million cubic meters of water into the integrated Vaal River system per year. Construction of the second phase was delayed and it's going to deliver 400 million cubic meters of water per annum into the integrated Vaal River system from the new Podihadi Dam in Lesotho, which the project has commenced in 2022 and is due to be completed in 2028. In anticipation of the completion of the second phase of the Lesotho Highland Water Project, in 2028, Rand Water is implementing 35 billion 5-year rolling capital work programs, which includes increasing both storage capacity and water treatment capacity. To date, Rand Water has increased the capacity of the Zeigerbosch water treatment plant to 150 million liters per capita per day at a cost of 3.5 billion. Rand Water is planning to implement further upgrades at the Zeigerbosch water treatment plant to increase its capacity by a further 450 million liters per day by 2028.
They have plans to make sure that this water crisis doesn't blow out of proportion.
Yeah.
But we will wait and see how that goes.
I mean, they said the same thing about the electricity. There were plans.
But just from previous observation, it will be safe for you just to get a JoJo tank.
Yeah.
Just to be safe. You know?
Just to be safe.
Just in case these plans don't work out for them. Then at least you have your backup water. But anyway, you guys just let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Yeah, let us know.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.